am back and welcome back. I know we've been missing for, just a week and some days, but we are back tonight, okay? So, thank you for joining me tonight. Don't forget when you come on to say hello to me. If you coming on and watching the replay, make sure you drop down in the chat and tell me hello, okay? You have been doing so well, right? So, I am back tonight live. I know it's been a little hit and miss, but listen, y'all already know what we've been talking about. But before we start there, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, please go on over and do so, okay? Make sure you hit that button to subscribe to my channel that is Journey with Dina, Dena. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time I do go live, right? So, tonight's podcast is going to be cultivating joy in unfamiliar places, right? Because what? New territory is unfamiliar places that I found out, right? But new territory isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. So I'm gonna give you a little recap only because it's kind of been hit or miss, right? So a couple of weeks back, we are still talking about this hasn't changed yet, right? So we are still talking about the waiting periods. There's the in-between time between process and promise, right? So we just been doing like our little mini baby steps into what that looks like, even though we have waited well, we have done the work. We are just doing everything that we're supposed to be doing, and we're still in the waiting period because why? It's a necessary part of the process. However, it still has many doors to there, right? And speaking of doors, so if you have been watching the podcast and you already know what I'm about to say, but if not, we recently went through closed doors and new territory. So we talked about some doors that closed in my life, and some new doors that opened up. And so we are still just going through the motion of what that looks like and how that feels. Like 2025 for me has been a year of closed doors and new territory. And when I say new territory, because there is a song called The Prayer of Jabez. If you've never read it, you should read it. The Prayer of Jabez, it states that, oh, will you bless me indeed and enlarge my territory? So that is one of my affirmations that I say every morning. But I found out that to enlarge your territory doesn't necessarily mean like in space at that time. New territory also is unfamiliar places. So that goes along with the closed doors and the open doors. So the open doors may be in somewhere that's unfamiliar, right? So that's what I have been experiencing a lot of. And it has been quite interesting, right? So, like I said, tonight we're talking about cultivating joy in unfamiliar places, which unfamiliar places is new territory, because it isn't just about, getting into the new door, the new opportunity, and just like, okay, let's see what this is going to be. No. When God closes doors and open bigger and better doors and give us greater opportunities, He wants us to thrive, not just survive, okay? So we're not gonna just get in and just be like, let's see how that's gonna work. No, we have waited for this, we have prepped for this, we have trained, we have prayed, we have cried, we have been through a lot of process to get here. So we want to survive, right? I know I do. And that is my plan, to survive and not just thrive. And I remember going into the bank a couple of weeks ago, and a lady was telling me about starting up a new business account. And she was telling me about what all you had to put in there, what you need to keep in there. And I was like, my God, that's a lot of money to keep in there. But in my mind, I was saying, it's really not a lot of money, but I want to be able to put the money that I'm supposed to have in there and build off of it, because I don't want to be in these new opportunities and just the basic, like what I've been doing, or just functioning at that level. I'm ready to survive. I mean, not to survive. I've been surviving. Take that back. I've been surviving, but I'm ready to thrive. So when I was sitting in the lady's bank chair, and I was thinking to myself, Lord, we can do this. We can do what is required for this account because I'm ready to thrive. I'm ready to see the fruits of my labor. And that's what we all should look forward to because if you've been putting the work in, if you've been following us, if you've been doing all the necessary things to prepare yourself for the things that God has, then of course you want to see the manifestation of it. Because what? This is the year of manifestation. You will touch it, you will see it, and you will experience it. And I believe that because I have been walking in that all year long. And so I just have little 2 pointers for you tonight. And the first one is joy as spiritual discipline. Like joy don't just happen automatically. You have to choose joy. People be like, I want to be happy. Well, happy is contingent on what's going on. But joy is something that you can control and you can do because no matter what is going on, you still should be able to have your joy, right? And they always just say joy let represent the J represent Jesus, the O let represents nothing, and the Y represents you. Let nothing get in between it. So you will continue to have joy no matter what door closes or what opportunity comes and go, right? So it says joy as a spiritual disciple. Excuse me. Uh, joy as a spiritual discipline. Choosing joy in discomfort, unfamiliar territory, mirrors faith and surrender. Let me tell it to you again. Joy as a spiritual discipline. Choosing joy in discomfort mirrors your faith and your surrendering to God. Your faith is, I believe that this is going to work out for my good, just like He said. Your surrender is surrendering to God however you want to do it. I'm here, I'm with you. I know they had to, just the process as well, because I had to go through that process. And I just got off the phone with somebody telling them that. Because recently I said I've become in my rest era where I'm tired of trying to put things together. I'm tired of trying to make this work or figure out this. And I was like, Lord, I'm ready to release this. I'm tired of doing it. But who I was talking about releasing it to is not who God was talking about releasing it to, right? So God was like, well, let me do it. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want all along. So I've surrendered, and that's a part of it. It mirrors your faith and surrender, surrendering it, whatever it is that you're waiting on to God to let Him come in and do it how He want to do it, when He want to do it, and who He want to do it through. But just in that place, in that posture of surrendering to His will and His timing for your life, it's a whole nother level of faith. And I'm not gonna say it's always easy because sometimes you be like, now how is this gonna work? But we all good when we can see how the outcome gonna come. And I was listening to this video yesterday, and the lady was saying we all good with God when we can see how it's gonna match up and we're gonna see how it's gonna come together. But when the math don't be mathing, no, this ain't right. How this gonna work? We don't understand it because we can't see it, but that's not how God operates. So when you surrender your faith, it's just so much easier. I feel like a load has been lifted off me, right? Because I ain't got to figure it out. And that's God's job. So I just tell God what we need this week, what we need to do. And then I just tell him thank you. So that's a good practice that you ought to get in. Just write the vision, make it plain, write it whatever it is. And I've gotten in the habit lately now. I've never used to do this because my numbers never add up. And I added up everything that I needed to be paid and done last week. Wrote down the amount, the names of it, whatever bill it is, or whoever, whatever it is, wrote the total and the date that I needed by. So the date that I needed by was the 22nd, which was yesterday. So when I came in my office today and I had to pay one thing, once I paid it, I looked over to my right and I seen my list. Everything had been checked off my list by the date that needed to be done. Because that's what me and God at. God has been, listen, blowing my mind on levels that I've never even imagined, right? Because that's what He does. When you surrender to His leading in His time, and He gonna make it do what it do. And I'll tell you, if it wasn't me, y'all, I wouldn't even believe some of the stuff that happened my own self. But that's just God, right? And my next one, it has joy after disappointment. Finding the light when the door you prayed for didn't open. Ooh, I know how that feel, right? You can pray for something you think it's gonna come, and God said, Because I'm gonna give you my little testimony real quick, because I just got the phone telling somebody that real quick, right? Because God, I might have told you, I can't even remember because I've been missing a couple days. But I remember because I've been a full-time entrepreneur since March. And I got a little time, so I'm like, oh Lord, I need to find me a job or something, because the numbers ain't adding up. So I got myself putting in for a job. They called me to do an interview and everything, and I was like, okay, God, I see you finna go ahead and give me the job, put me on assignment, whatever. And I walked through my living room on this particular day, was a Tuesday, and my interview was supposed to be that Thursday. And when I walked through the living room, I looked up on my wall, and it has this little cube that one of my friends bought me, and it has "Be still and know." So I said, "Oh Lord." So I came on in my office. I'm like, okay, Lord, whatever you want me to do is what I'm gonna do. If you want me to go ahead and take this job so I can get some things off my list, and I'm here on assignment for whatever it is that you have me to do, cool. If not, I'm not gonna worry about it. You've been providing and taking care of me like a good, when I say a good father, like I have a great dad, but our father, God, our father, he can do some things that what my daddy can't do, physically, naturally, spiritually, and financially. And he has been showing himself, right? And it's just been amazing. So I came in my office, same thing. I just wrote it down in my journal so I can date it in time or whatever, and say, Lord, whatever you want me to do, I'm cool with. How about soon as I closed my journal and stopped writing, the people called me and said they decided not to fill the position. I said, what? I just started laughing because I knew it was God. Because he closed that door, because that's not the door that he has for me to go in. And I've gotten several confirmations that I'm not supposed to be on a 9 to 5 right now or whenever. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, God gonna continue to do what he's supposed to do, right? So that's my little, no, let me get the other part of it, right? So of course they didn't call me with a job. So then here I go, maybe a week or two later. Um, was like, well, let me just go on and apply for this other job. Go ahead and apply for it. Yeah, all the way down to the end where it says sign your name. And I ain't lying, y'all. The whole computer just erased everything out and went blank. And my friend would say, oh, you didn't hear God the first time. He had to remind you. Maybe he cleared everything out. And I was like, I just closed my computer and went to bed. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. So even though I was kind of disappointed that it didn't go through, I knew that it was not God's will for me to go in that direction. So I was disappointed, but I still found joy in it, because I still want to be, no matter what Dina wants to do, no matter how Dina had this big old calculator where I add up stuff to get it done. Dina want to be in the will of God, which is the safest place to be, right? Because he gonna take care of me and what I need. Long as you do your part, God will always do his. And even sometimes when we don't do our part, that's why God gives us grace and mercy. So remember that the next time somebody does something to you, extend to them that same grace and mercy that God gives to us. Because I told you one time before, I used to be that person that I cut you off, but God said, who are you not to extend grace to somebody else? And I extend grace to you every day. So now, guess what? I extend that grace and I go on about my business and I tell God, thank you, right? So I just had to hop on tonight to be a woman of my word, because I'm not going to even tell y'all that last night I was like, God, do I got to go back on and do this podcast? Like, what are we doing here? Is it still the season for this? Can I stop? Do I go? What do I do? Is it helping anybody? Is it encouraging anybody? Because that's always my ultimate goal, to be able to encourage somebody through my life, through my testimony, or whatever it is that God gives me to say. And I thought about that on yesterday. So I really didn't think much about it today. And I got a phone call. And they said, hey, are we getting a live video tonight? And I was like, okay, Lord. So I ran in the house, literally ran in the house. I already had my topic on my computer and got it done because I want to be in the will of God. Because I don't know who may come across this video that it may encourage you to continue to wait well, continue to look for God, to seek God, to search for God in your new territory, in your new season, in your new doors, because it is new. We are into fall, and everything will continue to fall into place. Okay. So continue to wait well so you can see the manifestation of your waiting well. Okay. So until next time, y'all already know what it is. It is closer than you think. So keep looking for it because for you know it, it's going to be tapping you on your shoulder. So until next time, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.